Welcome back to the Wizard Shop, and today we're going to check out a real Hooptie, a genuine Hooptie. Let's take a look. So I have two daughters, and the youngest one has a boyfriend that was actually looking for a car. He saved up enough money to buy one. It was kind of like, do you know where I can get a decent car? He's a young kid. He doesn't know what to look for in a car. He could possibly buy one that would be a very bad buy. It would be one of my do not buy lists. So I decided to help him out, and actually Crazy D in the office has a brother who was selling this. And I really wasn't too keen on it until I saw one key factor, and I'll show you guys here in a minute. But this is a 2001 Chevrolet Impala with only 115,000 miles, even though it is a little bit rough. But for the price, which is $2,000, you can't expect much on today's market. You're not going to get a shiny, brand new, perfect car for $2,000. Not anymore. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, you could get a really nice car for $2,000. But not in 2021, you can't. However, this one is mechanically fine. It needs cleaned up. I'll let him do all that because he got a really good deal on the car. And then we'll open the hood and I'll show you guys why I knew this is the car. Let's take a look around it. So the front headlights are very hazed over. That'll be something maybe in the future we can look into helping him out with. But they work fine for the time being. They do show light. There are multiple dents all over this car like this, and fading clear coat. These tires probably need to be replaced at some point. They have a little bit of life left in them that'll get them by, but at some point it will probably need some new tires. We can see the clear coat is also faded on the door there, right around the latch area, the door handle. So on this side it's not too bad until you get back to the back bumper. It looks like it's been swiped right here, it crinkled the paint, and all of the bumper is really frosty. The clear coat is pretty much gone on it. On this side it's also not too bad. The clear coat's decent, the tires are they're okay. And the roof is actually pretty decent as well. It does have various key scratches and chips, and there's some scrapes here on the mirror. There's also some rage bumps here where somebody, I don't know what was going on there, and a scrape where somebody ran into something, maybe a parking stall, who knows. But that's why this thing is $2,000 and not $4,000. We'll go ahead and open the hood and show you the deciding factor on this car. It's the Buick 3.8, guys. This is easily a 400,000 mile engine, and it only has 115,000. The belt is decent. It does have some minor seepages here and there. You can see that the map sensor is being held on with zip ties because the other side of the clip here broke. Really, that's not that big of a deal. It is holding it in, and I'll just let it keep holding it. There's no codes, no check engine light, no warning lights. There's nothing on this car. It runs very well. These are known on the intake manifold to have coolant leaks and issues go wrong with them, but so far this one is fine, and even if it does have an issue in the future, they're very easy to change out. We did have to put a new EGR valve. It had a code at one point for that. We went ahead and replaced it for them. We did an oil change on it and an oxygen sensor, so it really didn't need a whole lot to make this thing reliable. It's going to be a very reliable car because I know these engines are known to be very reliable. Let's go ahead and take a look in the interior, and no, it is not shiny and pretty on the interior. It is a $2,000 car. Let's take a look.
Well, ladies and gents, here we are. Yes, the Wizard's right. It does have 115,000 miles on it. So for being a 20-year-old car, that's not so bad. Easy to read gauges. There's not much going on in here. It is in fair shape. I mean, look at the dash. I mean, I've seen worse dash on really high-end exotic cars. This one's, you know, crack-free and looks pretty decent up there. Really simple controls, because again, I think this car was kind of marketed towards that older crowd, and lots of big buttons there. Not much to distract him while he's driving, which I do appreciate, because at some point this seat over here, which is a cloth seat, will be occupied by our daughter. So I definitely want to make sure that, you know, he's going to be driving safely as well. But if you look, even though it does need some serious cleaning, it does need to have the hard surfaces really wiped down and cleaned, but the carpet's not horrendous. There's a little bit of staining down there, but nothing too hideous. Nothing that he couldn't put a scrub brush to. This does have enough space to hold 6 people. Not that I want them rolling around the streets of Wichita with 6 people in the car, but it can hold that many. The back seat's looking really good. And one kind of the thing that is interesting is that the middle seat actually has a shoulder belt. A lot of times they just have that lap belt and call it good. The headliner actually looks really good. Look at that. Really in good shape up there. Got a little cubby spot to keep the sunglasses in, maybe his wallet, phone. Definitely the phone. Don't need him distracted again. But otherwise, other than needing a severe cleaning and this really sexy diamond-studded leather-esque steering wheel cover, this is a really good little car for him, and I'm really, happy that they've got this. They were looking for cars, and I think this is going to be a good match for them. He's a really good kid. He deserves to have a good, decent first car that he can claim is truly all his own. Let's get this up in the air.
So we'll take a look underneath. Keep in mind, this is a $2,000 car. We're not going to dump another $5,000 into it fixing everything. It is a reliable car. It's a running driving car. It's a good car. But it has some leaks. Let's take a look. You can see our oil pan gasket has some seepage there. As long as they keep an eye on the oil level, there'll be no trouble. It'll be fine. That's what all this is from. It's from the oil. The transmission really isn't leaking. It's all from the oil pan gasket. It's not leaving drips all over the ground, so we're probably going to leave that be, because we all know that we don't go dumping $3,000 into a car that's worth $2,000. You just drive it and enjoy it for what it is. The brakes are about half gone, but they're still good. Nothing's loose there. I've actually driven this car. It actually drives very nice. Brake pads are half gone there. Nothing loose. There's some gunk back here from the oil pan leaking, but otherwise the CV boots are good. Both front struts are dry, so that's a good sign. Here's our catalytic converter. You can see we put a new rear O2 sensor there. So got that all taken care of. We have fixed a few things for him, and we're not going to charge him for it, but again, we're not going to rebuild the car to like new. Here's the exhaust is all intact. Here's our plastic fuel tank. We did fill it up for him. Somebody before we got the car put new struts in the back, so it does that. It does have that taken care of. Sway bar links are good. Brakes are about half gone there. Nothing loose. Same story over here. Nothing loose, everything's dry. It does need a sway bar link, but that's really not that big of a deal. Here's our spare tire and a muffler. There's really nothing going on back here, Mrs. Wizard.
Nope, just some nice empty space that if someone were to hit them, it would have a nice crumple zone.
Yep. You can see these tires have seen better day. They have a little bit of tread. They are weather checked. But that'll be something that they can visit if they want to get some new tires in the future. But they're fine for now. They'll do the job. Other than the oil pan leaking and a sway bar link and a few other things, really it's a pretty decent car. So let's go ahead and get it back on the ground. So is it a nice, shiny, new, expensive, fancy car? No. He doesn't have the money for that. And I don't blame him. It's his first car. But being that it has the 3.8 engine and the rest of the car is in fairly decent shape, I knew this would be a good car for him, and also we know, like Mrs. Wizard said, our daughter will be riding in this car. We do not want to give them something that's dangerous or something that's going to be broke down all the time. Even if this one does break down, it'll be cheap and easy to fix. I've mentioned in previous videos, I've done multiple videos on the Buick 3800, and I really give it a lot of praise. It is that good of a motor. When I first looked at this car, I opened the hood and I fully expected to see a 3400, which are not a good engine. I was like, you know, I'm going to see a 3400 and I'm going to say no. But I opened it and it was a 3800 and I was like, wow, we're onto something here. We kind of recommended to him to look for a Buick LeSabre or something along those lines with the 3.8. But this was just sitting on the lot. Crazy D's brother needed to sell it. He needed the cash. And the boyfriend of our daughter needed a car. So it kind of like the stars aligned and everything worked out really well. Over time as they drive it, I'm sure it's going to have a few issues here or there, and we'll help them out. We'll get it fixed for them. But this will be a good car for a first car. A very good car. There's not going to be a lot of major commutes going on. It's just going to be in-city driving around town, going back and forth to work, going to the movies, or whatever they're going to do in the car. So that's really a no-brainer car. I remember when these cars first came out, and they were actually very popular. People thought they were a very cool car. And they're a pretty decent car today even. But back then they were really popular. I remember my uncle had a maroon colored one, and it lasted him a long time. I don't think it had the 3800. I think it had the 3400. But it still lasted quite a long time. These are definitely getting long in the tooth, and they have been relegated to exactly what this car is going to be used for. A high school kid's first car. So I hope he enjoys it. He's already very excited to get it. We're actually going to deliver it to him tomorrow. So we did our final checks on it. It is ready to go. So you're looking for a first car for your teenage kid. This is what you need to be looking for. Not a Prelude, not a Camaro Z28. They're probably going to wrap it around a telephone pole. This is exactly what is needed for a first car for a teenage kid. I get that email a lot. I'm looking for a car for my son or daughter or whatnot. What should I get? This is what you should get. So that was the purpose of this video, to show you guys a very good example of a high school kid's first car. If you're curious what kind of tools we use to work on actually this car, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut and we really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because we got updates on the Ferrari coming. We got all kinds of things coming. And we just hired a new person. Thanks for watching.